and welcome to the Boomer Salt and Light Company. I'm glad you could join us today. Today we're kicking off Season 2 of our online episodes. I remember when we started Season 1 way back in October, things were a lot different. We weren't in the middle of a pandemic and social unrest in the streets like we're seeing now. Things have changed. And as we approach the second season of the Boomer Salt and Light Company, I was thinking, what could we do as the Boomer generation to make a difference during these troubled times? And I think the best thing we can do is to point people to love. The source of that love is Jesus. It says in the Bible that this is how we know what love is, that Jesus laid down his life for us. And so we ought to be willing to lay down our life to each other. We know what love looks like because of Jesus. He left us that example, and he said, as I've loved you, go and love one another. And so our generation was called the Love Generation. There were a lot of songs written back in the 60s and 70s when we were younger. What the world needs now is love, sweet love, Jackie DeShannon. It's the only thing there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, just not for some, but for everyone. And then there was He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother by the Hollies, telling us to help one another. Simon and Garfunkel, like a bridge over troubled water, I'll lay me down. Lean on Me by Bill Withers. Sometimes we need to lean on each other. And those songs left an example for us about loving. And love, I think, is the only answer for what we're going through right now. Love is the only thing that can work. I have a friend who's gone to be with the Lord. His name's Dave Browning. And he wrote a little paper before he left us talking about love. And he calls it this, I'm on the side of love. I just want to read a little excerpt from that. I've come to believe that love is the greatest thing that anyone can ever receive or give. And it's what gets me up in the morning. Love is my bold reason for living. I want love to rule the world. I want to be a catalyst in a worldwide awakening of love. There's no other option. Love is the only thing that can possibly work. I like that. Love's the only thing that'll work. It's the answer for what we're going through right now. Love is something we do, not just talk about. The Bible says don't love just with words in your tongue, but in actions and truth. In other words, love's a verb, someone has said. There's an author and speaker who wrote a book. I love it. It's just called Love Does. Love Does. And I think God's calling us to really focus on love and not just talking about it, but making a difference during this time as a Boomer generation. So I wrote a song I'm going to play here in a little bit called Words Ain't Enough. And at the end we'll come back together, and I'd really like to start a discussion on how we can interject love into all that's going on in the world today, because love is the answer. Take a listen to the song. I'll see you on the other side. I used to wonder why there's so much hate and anger. I used to wonder why we're all living as strangers, until I realized words ain't enough. Words ain't enough. It takes hands and feet going into the street. Takes you and me reaching out to those we meet. Takes an open heart, and then you can start to love, 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 to love. I used to wonder why so many people are crying. I used to wonder why so many children are dying, until I realized words ain't enough. Words ain't enough. It takes hands and feet going into the street. It takes you and me reaching out to those we meet. It takes an open heart, and then you can start to love, 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 to love. I see a new day coming, know it won't be long. People everywhere will be singing a new song. Not talking religion, talking about Jesus Christ. He died on the cross to show us what love looks like. To love, 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 to love. Love wasn't given for us to hide. Love is love if it's kept inside. Love is more than just the words we say. Love is love until we give it away. And now I realize words ain't enough. Words ain't enough. It takes hands and feet going into the street. It takes you and me reaching out to those we meet. It takes an open heart, and then we can start to love, 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 to love. Well, I hope you enjoyed that song. What I'd like to do now is give everybody an opportunity to kind of talk about what we can do to interject love into our world today as a boomer generation. So I put together a Facebook group called the Boomer Salt and Light Company Group. If you go to Facebook and look up groups and look up the Boomer Salt and Light Company Group, you can join the conversation. And my hope is we can just start talking about the need for love and what we can do to help make that happen as believing boomers and as searching boomers, because the world does need love right now more than ever. So the question I'll throw out there is, why is love so important? And why is love so powerful? And let's start a discussion and let's see what God will do with it. Look forward to seeing you again next week. Please visit the Facebook group and join the conversation. And we'll see you next time on the Boomer Salt and Light Company, episode 2 of season 2. Take care. God bless you. I used to wonder why there's so much hate and anger. I used to wonder why we're all living as strangers, until I realized ain't enough. Words ain't enough. It takes hands and feet going into the street. It takes you and me reaching out to those we meet. It takes an open heart, and then you can start